Hey guys, I just found out something that really moved me to my core and also shocked me as well. Um, and I just felt like I really wanted to share this story with you guys. And it's a story that's related to my family, but I think it was so powerful that after hearing it, it took me a while. I think I'm still trying to comprehend that, but I think it's beautiful. And so the story is basically, I just found out that I had an extra uncle, and he's deceased, so he's no longer here anymore. But I guess when I found out from my mother when we were at the temple, when we were wondering what's that name, at the temple, and she's like, "Oh, it's my brother," and I'm like, "What? You have another brother?" It's like I've been in the family for 4 decades nearly, and they've never even mentioned a single word about this brother. So I'm so confused, should I say. And so my curiosity made me want to just quickly go and see my grandma to understand, is it true? Is this uncle of mine real? Is my mom being crazy? Because my mom did say, yeah, he's dead, but she didn't elaborate anything else after that. So I went to visit my grandma, and I asked her, I said, "Grandma, apparently you have another son?" And she casually said, "Yes, I have 4 kids, 2 daughters and 2 sons." And I was like, you did he pass away when he was like a baby or something like that? And she said, "No, he passed away when he was a teenager, around about nearly 16 years old. He was a very smart kid and he was very, very helpful within the family. But yeah, he died from a car crash. Someone crashed into him and killed him." And I was like, "What? Okay." I felt so bad for my grandma because just counting down the age, it just shows that it means that shortly after that uncle passed away as well, my auntie went missing because of the Vietnam War. So we never found her. So in a very short period of time, she experienced 2 deaths of her own kids, and also the Vietnam War, and had to pretty much escape from Vietnam during that time. So it's sort of, I was like, wow, I felt so sorry for her. And I said, "Grandma, it must have been so hard for you." And she did say, "Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. But life happens." And I go, "Okay, so did you catch the driver?" And she said, "Yeah, yeah, she was aware of the driver. He was there." And then I said, "So did he go to jail?" And she said, "No." I was like, "What? You didn't sue him because he killed your son?" And this is when she told me, "Vivian, I know how painful it is to lose someone, and I wouldn't wish upon anyone to feel or go through that same pain. If I put this man in jail, it's not just him that suffers, it's his whole family, because essentially they've lost him as well. So why would I ever want to bring that pain on anyone else? Especially when my son is never going to come back anyways." So no, I didn't, and I wouldn't want to press charges on him. And when she told me that, I think I literally froze for like a good 5 seconds, not knowing what to say, because I think I was in shock. I wasn't expecting that answer. And then I sort of said, but Grandma, aren't you angry? And she said, no, just sad. I guess that's my life, and it's my lesson, and it's my journey. And it was a very sad time for herself. And that moment of just hearing what the reason was of why she didn't want to press charges gave me a really big wake-up call. And that wake-up call was, and I was trying very hard not to get teary as I was digesting that response, because I didn't want to trigger her emotions as well. But I'm not gonna lie, every time when I'm thinking about this story, it also makes me quite emotional. And I thought to myself, why would I be emotional? And I guess it's not emotional because of injustice or whatsoever. No, I realized I'm emotional because, wow, that is what love really is. And I really saw that in a different perspective. I mean, I would have never thought in the same way as my grandma. But now that she has opened me up to a new perspective, I just found it so beautiful, so unbiased. And I guess sometimes, you know, being kind to others is also being kind to yourself. You know, by just the mere fact of not needing to focus on anger on others and giving pain to others. In reverse, it's almost like a release as well, you know, not being caged up, not being jailed up with those negative emotions. And it just really made me understand what true kindness is, and just how selfless my grandma was as well. And that was one of the most beautiful stories I've heard from her, really. I mean, she's been through a lot, but just even after going through a lot, not once did she blame others. And I guess I just really wanted to share that story that I heard this week to all of you guys. And hopefully it also gave you a new perspective. And I will always remember this story. To be kind to others, to be kind to yourself. She's my forever angel. And yeah, I love you, Grandma.